Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, love. Thank you for joining me, babe. Hope your morning is going well. Hope your night was peaceful. Good morning, Demetrius. Good morning, people in the bushes. I hope y'all's night was good too. Pamela, honestly, me, I'm fine. But my heart is heavy. My heart is truly heavy, and it's heavy for numerous reasons, but I want to wait until a few more people come on in here. I'm going to let them finish filling up the bushes. They lucky it's still cold outside, or else the mosquitoes will be eating them up. But it's okay, because as soon as I can, I'm going members only. Good morning, Kelly. I responded to your email, babe. Listen, I owe you an apology. I have been hunting you down, and you're like, wait a minute, you didn't see my email? I did, boo. It was in my spam. And I had no idea, I have no idea why some of my babes' emails, good morning, Smiley, were going to my spam, because I was getting some of you guys' emails in my primary. So I didn't understand that, but Eb suggested to me to check my spam. And I did. I said, you know what, because you just didn't seem like that kind of person to me. And my discernment normally is spot on. So I said, you know what, I'm going to check it. And true enough, Kelly was right there. And she did not disappoint. It's some other stuff I want to talk to you about, though. So, as far as, helping me develop the look of my page, my computer is getting on my ever-loving nerve, only because I don't understand some of the technical terms, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I teach my children that the dumbest question is the one. Okay, then it's in there, baby. Okay. I've been writing down numbers, and I'm not going to say that it's not anymore. If you say it's there, boo, I believe you. And I've probably written it down. But I have been doing research, and so my brain is so full of spaghetti noodles right now that, baby, just hold on. I get at you. I really, really will. I promise you I will. Um, can you guys just say good morning to your neighbor? Trying to form a beautiful family here. And sometimes some of you guys feel slighted if people don't speak to you. And so that means that they want to be nice. And I want you all to just, just a nice good morning chat, something like that. You know what I mean? So, like I was saying, my heart is heavy this morning because of everything that's going on around us. I had to ask my 13-year-old to help me with the laptop. Yeah, my brain was no good. Absolutely. Wait a minute, who said that? Absolutely, Pamela. Good morning, Billy. I I had to ask my 14-year-old. Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm over it. I'm over it. And then I even inboxed my cousin who has a podcast, but he covers sports. And so I'm like, listen, I'm about to throw this computer across the goddamn room. Okay? I need you to come over here and help me put this disclaimer on my channel. Like, I want it scrolling. You know what I mean? I want my stuff to look official, to be official. And he like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And I'm like, listen, cuz, what part don't you understand? I said I need you to So, I don't know. Maybe it's just too early for him. His brain wasn't working yet. Good morning, Miss Davis. How are you, love? Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. Listen, listen, Pamela. Yeah, I'm going to get it done. I am. I am just trying to. It's so much going on, right? And so it's so much that I want to do. And I just want my page to look official. So I'm taking myself through there when I don't even have to. You are right. You are so right, Miss Davis. Yes, I am. So, like I was saying, my heart is heavy. And I'm going to tell y'all why. There is so much that integrity has nothing to do with. Okay? There is so much going on YouTube and on these other social media sites that integrity has nothing to do with. Right? And it's unfortunate. Now, I'm not getting into who's right and who's wrong, and I'm not naming no names. Right? Because I just choose not to be messy like that. But if the shoe fit, put that motherfucker on and start walking. Okay? Put it on. Right? Grab you a goddamn chair and sit in it. Because I can't stand it. It is utterly ridiculous. It's very sad. It is so sad, y'all. Right? Especially when the tactics are connected to something so serious. Right? We're talking about people's lives here. One, you know what, Miss Davis? I'm not going to leave it on just us black people. I'm not. Because, see, that's part of the problem for me. That's part of the problem. Because if I were not married and I were in love with a Caucasian male, does what's happening in my life not affect him if he loves me? So, see, it's not just about black people. Yes, we need to start standing up for ourselves, and I get where you're coming from with that. I'm not discrediting what you're saying, but I need us to start looking outside of that, because what affects us is how people view us. You understand what I'm saying? It's how people view us. So it's like, it's about the other people too. It's about the other races too. So it's like, and I don't want to contradict myself. Maybe I'm just not articulating it well enough this morning because, like I said, my brain is spaghetti, but I needed to get this out before I explode. Yes, we as black women need to start standing up for one another, because the facts are we are the last to be acknowledged, respected. I get it. Then we as a black people are the last to be acknowledged and respected. I get it. But I dare say that everybody in the chat around YouTube are not all black. That's all I'm saying. And they're all taking a part in this. Their views, their likes, their comments, all that plays a role in how successful a content creator is. Right? And so that's what I mean when I just articulated it, y'all. Hey, go Sean B. So that's what I mean when I say it's not just us, because it ain't just black people that's in the chat, that's helping this dysfunction travel. It's not just us. It's up to us to give people a different view. We can keep showing people we are who they think. Absolutely, Smiley. That it is, but that's an individual thing, right? Individually, we need to do that. And so I hope y'all really truly appreciate where my intentions are, to come from a healthy place, a safe place. I don't want mess. I don't want that. So here's a disclaimer, guys, and y'all can spread the damn word. That's not what's happening on my channel. So if it makes it boring, then whomever is here on my channel will be bored together. But it ain't happening here. I'm not having it. So, there will be no mud slinging, going on. It's just, if that's what you want, there's a whole lot of it somewhere else. I dare say keep scrolling. You'll find it. It's right there. It's truly right there. It really is. But it's not going to happen here. My intention is to practice what I preach. Nope, Sean B did not go live this morning to talk about the craziness that was happening online yesterday. Number one, it ain't my plight. I have nothing to do with it. So why would I cover that this morning? Number two, nowhere on my channel does it say that that's what my channel is about. And I know for a fact that I have rubbed quite a few people the wrong way. Well, I feel like I'm rubbing them the right way, but they don't like it because I speak about it. And I'm going to continue to speak about it. If that's the platform that you're building, good for you, but how do you look yourself in the mirror every day, all day, knowing damn well that you're either, and this is under a collective umbrella, either that you're spewing lies, you're selectively showing footage, pictures that you know damn well has nothing to do with the big picture. You know it don't. You're showing content that is not going to stand up in a court of law. It really has nothing to do with the law. You're trying to marry the stereotype thinking on the streets to what's going to happen in a courtroom. Are you kidding me? And you're deliberately omitting certain words so that your narrative gets pushed out there. And if the people in your chat don't speak the way you want them to speak, but they keep speaking their mind, sooner or later you're blocking them. Really? That's how shallow you are? You can't take it? You can't take people telling the truth. So if they're not saying what you want to hear, and if sooner or later their words, their comments are starting to make sense, block them. Because you can't have that, huh? You can't have that. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you carry on. If it works for you. But I tell you right now, the love of money. The love of money. The love of money. I tell you, I'd rather have respect, admiration, accountability, honesty over any amount of money. Because with all of that, I ain't worried about a blessing. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about a blessing. Pamela said, don't look at it that way. Didn't look at it that way, but thank you, Sean B. You're welcome, baby. Just give me a minute. I'll get it out. It's early. It's early. My first cup of coffee still sitting in front of me. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Lisa says, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day. We need the calm and peace. That's what I'm trying to bring, Smiley. I'm doing my little part. And I'm here for your authenticity. Thank you. Is the root to all evil. You better believe it. Good morning, Heath. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the platform that people, they grown, what can I do? What, you know what I mean? All I can do is let my people know, my babes. Let my babes know, and that's who you guys are. All of my subscribers, you are my babes. And I'm going to stop calling y'all subscribers. That's so mechanical. It really is. It's very mechanical. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I want compassion, honesty, togetherness. That's what I want on my channel. It ain't black and white for me. It's very much colorful and happy. And pain. The struggle. Life. That's what my channel will be. That's how I'm starting it, and that's how I'm going to end it, and that's how it's going to be all through and through. So what I saw yesterday, it was very disheartening. Me and my people sat on the phone for hours yesterday. Do we laugh at some of the messiness? Yes. I mean, damn, we're human. But does that mean that I appreciate it? No, I don't. Because the fact of the matter is, one of the instances that I'm talking about, the fact of the matter is, it should never have happened. So that I'm not laughing at. I may laugh at how the hell somebody gonna react to it, because she funny as hell and she gonna give it to you. But I understand why she's angry. And so what made her angry is what I'm speaking about. People, stop it. I'm not here to step on nobody's toes. I'm not here to darken anybody's light, because the light that's meant for me is mine, and nobody could stand in front of it. God is amazing that way. Just that way. Can't take what's meant for me, as I can't take what's meant for you, especially if it's formed on the right foundation, the solid foundation, the foundation that God smiles on. Now, if it ain't nothing good about it, yeah, it's going to look good at first. That's how the devil work. That's how the demonic spirit world works. It dresses it up real nice and pretty for you. Look good, smell good. It's a whole lot of it. All of that. Money, men, women, whatever. Stuff, places, things, all that. And then before you know it, that mess is going to start to crumble. It's going to start to crumble. You're going to be standing around looking like, what am I doing wrong? Well, your foundation ain't right. So it'll only stand for a minute. That's a fact. And that minute, it's not determined by me. That's determined by God. Well, I've been at this for 15 years. Okay. All right. How's that working out for you? Have you made it to $1 million status yet? Or you still having to do all these lives and, hours of this and hours of that and 10 different channels and all that kind of stuff? You still got to do that though, right? So I dare say, have you really made it? If you still got to work that hard at it, where's your network? Where's your network? Where your people's at? Oh, okay. So you know what I'm saying? And this is just my personal opinion. And then where our beloved and the defendant, where that situation is concerned, man, listen. What is all the back and forth for is beyond me. Because the fact of the matter is, she was not arrested due to public pressure. She was arrested by the law, according to the law. Because if it was public pressure, why ain't she out by now? Because that judge ain't playing. Because he don't give a damn about public pressure. Because if he did, he'd turn them cameras around and show the public everything that they want to see. Let's make this shit make sense. But what did he say? What that video showing? Because if it's showing A, B, C, or D, I'll look at it. We're not showing it on these monitors. He ain't there to play. Thank you, Pamela. I understand. I understand. I'm judging, Pamela. Yes, I am. And if I'm wrong, God, forgive me. But I'm judging, and you know why? Because it's in the public. I'm not minding somebody else's business. I am critiquing what I see right in front of me. You understand me? Judging is when you see a woman standing in the SNAP line to get food stamps and you say, she's sorry. You get food stamps? That's judging in my book. You understand what I'm saying? And I just said that for all the people that's in the bushes, like, she talking about God, but she judging folks. No, 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 no. No, no. Nah. I'm talking about foundation versus expectations. That's what I'm talking about. And I think I've lived long enough to let some folks know that I've seen some stuff built up. And when they did it the easy way, it didn't last. I teach my kids that nothing easy is worth it. Nothing. Nothing easy is worth it. You even have to take your diamonds in and get them shined up every now and then. They don't just stay nice and shiny and beautiful, sparkly, and oh my God, that glare. It don't stay that way always. You got to work at it. You got to take care of it. Well, this easy stuff, this backbiting, flip-flopping, backstabbing, and all of that stuff is, man, is garbage, man. But like I was saying about this court case, it's crazy. Smiley said, I think some people are losing sight of the fact that a young lady is gone and we are fighting for justice for her and the family that won't ever be the same without her. Exactly. Exactly. But you know what though, Smiley? I'm going to go so far as to say they ain't lose sight of nothing. They haven't lost sight of a damn thing. They know exactly what they're doing. Because it is so convenient with the omissions. See, when you knowingly omit certain words that would clearly change the trajectory of a narrative, you know exactly what the hell you're doing. Good morning, somebody. You know exactly what you're doing. When you are somewhere on Monday and you're engulfed or participating in a conversation, and then by Thursday, because between them days Tuesday, Wednesday, and then by Thursday the narrative done change, and you say, I don't remember that. I call that selective memory. That's on purpose. There is also a thing called righteous judgment. All right, Smiley, come on through now. Come on through there. You see what I'm saying? Like, seriously? Now, if we was just talking about cartoons, so be it, but we're talking about people's lives here. We're talking about people's lives. We're talking about immaturity and a person being gullible enough to be influenced to do something so wicked. We're talking about people that are wicked enough to influence someone to do that, to participate in the uncomfortable stuff or the stuff that they're doing to make someone's life uncomfortable. Why are we doing that? Why are you participating in that? Woman to woman, mother to mother. Why are you doing that? It's that crab in the bucket shit, man. If I meet a woman that was with a man before I came along, and she tries to tell me something, yeah, a lot of times it's just being hate. It's just hating. I get it. But am I just going to throw it away? Or am I going to tuck that in the back of my mind and start to pay attention? Where I might have in the beginning just been given the benefit of the doubt. We're just going to get to know one another. I'm going to get to know you. Good morning, Wendy. I'm going to get to know you on my own and form my own opinion. Well, that would make you naive. Because what if that woman is coming from a loving place? What if she's coming from a confident, secure, high self-esteem place? And she's telling you, listen, boo, I wish y'all luck. Because if he was a good man, I'd still be with him. See, a lot of us don't think about that kind of stuff. If he was such a good man, why do you think I let him go? Because if I say we're not together anymore, that means what? That means I'm gone. I'm not in the picture anymore. Whether or not he quit me or I divorced him ain't the point. Okay? Like, seriously, Pam, think about it. Whether or not he quit me or I divorced him, that's not the point. The fact that we're not together is because we just stopped. Whatever it was we were doing to keep it together, right? We stopped. Well, shit. If he was such a good man, why would I stop? If he was such a good man. So, like I said, the gullible, the easily influenced. So if I come to you and I say, baby, listen, you can have it. You can have, I'm good, boo. But listen, pay attention. I'm not going to tell you this, that, or that because you're going to think I'm hating. So just pay attention, okay? They think we hating. And they think that they can do it better than us. Now, there are those instances where, due to that breakup, people mature. People figure out, damn, I was wrong when I did that. If I mean to be happy, I got to stop doing that kind of stuff. Yes, yeah, we grow up. And we try to do it better the next time. Absolutely. But in this instance, yeah, no, he ain't do that. Right? And so here we are. Why are we arguing about what happened? You're not working the case. You are not part of either one of those teams. You're not. And if either one of those sides are talking to anybody outside of that courtroom, they ought to be disbarred because it is unethical, and it's illegal. Good morning, y'all. So if this is the crux of your content, man, listen. But it's about supply and demand, right? Which brings me to where I started. It's about supply and demand. And people are going to supply what the messy crew demands. Because their analytics tells them they doing something right to build their channel or to continue their channel. Good morning, Ab. Good morning, Boo. Okay, Pam. Pam said, not me. Shit. I know that's right. Me either. I click on, because a lot of times the thumbnails don't be what you think it is. Example, open book about a week ago, maybe more. Her thumbnail said, Sean B, what the hell? However, and when my people saw it, they like, yo, open book over there talking crap about you. I'm like, wait, what? Good morning, Miss Parker. Good morning. Pamela said discernment. Yes, ma'am. And I try to tap into it as often as I can. And so I'm like, wait, talking, who is open book? First of all, I'm like, who the hell is open book? I'm tired of the disingenuous CCs. Absolutely. So I'm like, who's open book? I'm like, hold on, let me go over there. So, put my shoes on and walk on up the street around the corner, and yeah, there's my name. But when I clicked on it, she was actually giving me my flowers. So when I say that the thumbnails ain't always what we think it is. So when you click on it, you get to listening. And I'm like, oh no, this not what I thought it was. I'm not here for this. I click out. I'm good. I'm done. Good morning, Precious. Good morning, love. Precious, can you email me? I'll talk to you. Okay? So that's what I mean. Like I don't sit in them. I don't sit in them. Latanya, good morning, baby. Thank you, boo. I don't sit in them. It's just it makes me so uncomfortable. You know what I mean? My peoples, we talk all the time about how it makes us anxious. You know what I mean? And it can, if you stay in it, it can literally affect your well-being health-wise. It really can. It starts subconsciously. And then before you know it, you got a headache you can't get rid of. You think it's because you haven't eaten, but yeah, I just had 2 chili dogs. Or you think it's because you're not sleeping properly. Well, I only got up one time to go to the restroom, so yeah, I'm sleeping good. It's that toxicity that you're letting on you. Yes, Wendy. Wendy said it's not informative anymore. It's salaciousness. It's salacious mess, period. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Yes, Open Book was definitely giving you your props. Yes, Latanya, she was. She did. In the beginning and at the end. Yes. But I was just using that as an example of how it would read one way, and that gets the attention. Like, ooh, somebody going in on Sean B. Because it said Sean B, WTH. What does that say? Sean B, what the hell? Smiley says you have to protect your ear and eye gates. Absolutely. And your heart. Absolutely. Absolutely. You do. She definitely gave you your props, and I agreed with her 100%. Thank you, Miss Parker. I had to do what I did, and that came from Gigi Medici's channel. I had to get up there and say what I said because, again, the foolishness, the selective speaking, the lies. And if we're going to speak about these two young ladies, somebody got to start to tell the truth. Somebody has to go in and have the courage to contradict that bullshit, because that's what it was. It was bullshit. How you gonna call people stalkers and then one by one mention how they're stalking? Well, that makes you what, you hypocrite? That means you're what? You're watching. In order for you to one by one name people, name things, name comments, all of that, you're doing. And then how is it stalking? This is an open forum, ma'am. People come in to watch. How is that? So anyway, that's why I did that. So yeah, yesterday was all over the place. I went in on some channels I'll never go on again, because I can't get with it. I just can't get with it. They calmly sit there and just deflect, distract, select, and omit, and I can't get down with it. So I hope that's not why you're here, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. So if Miss Sean B's channel is not salacious, I like that word, Wendy, enough for you, then baby, I holla when I see you in somebody else's chat. If it's still a channel that I can tolerate. Because we all need entertainment sometimes. But some of that stuff, man, listen, it ain't entertainment. It's truly disgust. I just keep my mouth off some things. Pamela says, I just keep my mouth off some things because of the energy I'd be feeling. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, a lot of times we need to look at some of that for self-reflection. It's like a reminder of how you don't want to be, what you don't want to do. I learned a lot from watching those that had channels before me. Miss Parker, Shank Rock, Tootie, Reacts or Uncensored, Mocha Unfiltered, Gigi Medici, Maya Brown, and some others. Absolutely. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It just is what it is. I took a little bit from everybody. I took everything that I started with, I got from them. I took a little bit from everybody. And what made me feel authentic, that's what I brought to my channel. With that being said, again, y'all, good morning. We're going to talk about Miss Jada West. Yes, babies. It's the 12-year-old who was declared brain dead yesterday. In fact, not yesterday, Sunday. I am teachable and eager to learn. Actually, Pamela, that is putting it greatly. That is a great way to put it. Absolutely. So, y'all, I don't know who heard about it. I don't know who needed to hear a little bit more. But I'm going to give you what I got. Jada West was 12 years old, and she went to Mason Creek Middle School. According to the parents, she was new to the school, and almost from day one, this little girl, was being bullied. Hello, Linda. Good morning. Jada was being bullied almost from day one, and so the father made it his business to go up to the school and address this bullying situation with the school administration about a certain boy and a certain girl. And what I gathered from everything that I watched and I researched, and this is all from the news reports, that particular boy, I heard a little bit of it, but I'm listening. Okay, Lisa, thank you, baby. Per this little boy and this little girl, they would instigate. And so before you knew it, the crowd would grow. The antics would increase. Because unfortunately, children are immature, and what they think is funny actually isn't. And when they grow older, they'll learn that, hopefully. Because clearly we got some grown folks that think shit is funny that's not. But anyway, I digress. And it was never really reported upon how the school handled it. Good morning, Adrian. Miss Roxanne, good morning. Thank you for joining us. None of the news reports that I watched said anything about how the school handled the situation when the father came up there and shared his concerns. But the parents continued to let their daughter, Jada, ride the bus. Now, I don't know if that could have been helped. I don't know. Myself, my kid wouldn't have been on that bus no more. We have to remember we are the example they are watching. What are we teaching our children? Exactly, Smiley. I would have taken my child if my child continued to come home and I, as a vigilant parent, notice that my baby is not exhibiting that he or she had a good day, and that continued on a regular basis. I'm going up there and then I'm pulling my kid out of the school. That's what I'm doing. My kid will not ride that bus anymore. Right? But I don't know if that could have been helped for them. I don't know if they, were able to do that. I don't know how the school districting works and that sort of thing, right? So, last week, Thursday, with all the bullying that had already been going on, last week, Thursday, an argument reportedly was started on the bus. And when Jada got off the bus, there was some, per the video that I saw, there was some bickering back and forth. You know, that kind of stuff. They arguing back and forth. Probably talking like they think they grown, all that kind of stuff, right? Some kids are laughing, just pure instigation. I get it. Well, lo and behold, a fight ensued. And at one time, Jada fell. Now, whether or not she hit her head, I don't know. That was not said. One can speculate. Right? One can speculate. But they just didn't say she hit her head. And then they said she walked a little bit and she fell again. Now, I don't know if this was happening during the fight, like literally while they're connected, You know what I mean? Swinging going on. She fell and hit the ground, got back up, swinging going on. I don't know if the fight had stopped and she walked away, and due to whatever injuries she um suffered, she fell and then got back up and tried to get her bearings about her, and then due to those injuries being a little more, severe than what she originally thought, she fell again. But in any case, one of her friends, because she didn't live far from the bus stop where I would have been at that bus stop. If my circumstances did not allow me to take my child off the bus in order for him or her to get their education, I would have been at that bus stop. I digress. A friend of hers runs to her house and gets her mom. Her mom comes to the bus stop where she finds little Jada on the ground. Some reports said that she was a little lethargic, and her mother couldn't really understand. Some reports said that she was unconscious. The police were called, and she was first taken to Tanner Medical in Villa Rica. And forgive me, I should have found out what state that was in, but I don't know, and I don't know why. I don't know that. I should have done better with that. But I think it's in Georgia. I think it's in Georgia. Douglas County. I think that's Georgia. I think it's a part of Atlanta. And so first she was taken to Tanner Medical in Villa Rica. I believe she was stabilized there. And then she was airlifted to Scottish Rite Children's Hospital, where she laid this baby unconscious until Sunday, where the doctors, the medical staff, diagnosed her as zero brain function. And, no more details were given after that. Besides, she was then declared deceased. I am so tired of these kids that think it okay to put their hands on somebody else's child. I wouldn't give a damn what that child said to you. I don't care what kind of monkeys they called your mama or what kind of gorillas they called your daddy. I don't care what they said about your grandmama. I don't care how they talk about your clothes and what they say about your hair. I don't care. What in the world is making these kids think that it's okay to go beyond the teasing? What make them think that's all right? Whomever started the fight. I don't know if Jada started it. I don't know if the other girl started it. It has not been said on any research that I did this morning. It didn't say who started it, who literally started the physical fight. It just says she was being bullied. And we're going to talk about that bullying. But I am so sick of these kids. Lisa says, I'm heartbroken. My granddaughter is 12 and she has been picked on and being jumped. Man, listen, Lisa, listen. Listen, sound like it's time for some good trouble for me. Shit, you got me messed up. Sound like it's time for some good trouble. You understand me? what they're accustomed to. Sound like it's time for some good trouble. Okay? That's what it sound like to me. If you've done all that you can do, you go to the school. You ask for that parent-to-parent conference. Because a lot of times, let's keep it a B, a lot of time, the other parents don't even know what's going on. They have such a blind eye to their children's behavior that they have utterly no idea. And some of these teachers is like, man, shit. Now, I could say something about them teachers. Damn it, if you ain't giving 100%, I'm going to need you to go on and clock out. Because, see, my kid's not a troublemaker. So, therefore, my kid and the other 26 kids in your class, they deserve a teacher that's there for 100, that's given 100%. They're there to instruct and protect. That's what the teachers are there for. You got my baby for 7.5, 8 hours. I'm going to need you to give 100%. And if you don't feel like you can do that in this school with these students, whatever, then I'm going to need you to enact that school policy. Do what it is you need to do. But don't come in that classroom saying good morning to these babies that's there to get their instruction. Not bully each other. Not do any of that nonsense. If that's what you're not here to do, teacher, then stay your ass at home. Stay home. Unfortunately, there are many parents, Smiley says, that don't teach their children not to bully. My 9-year-old granddaughter was hit on the bus last week, and the child's parents won't even have a parent-teacher meeting. Absolutely. We are in a different state. She lives in Brooklyn, New York. If I was there, it would be problems. I understand that. Smiley said, my daughter just said it. My daughter just said it better not happen again or there will be trouble. I know that's right. I know that's right. So the stuff that's happening in these classrooms, if the teacher is not doing her part or his part, which is reporting it, because see, when you take it to the office, they're supposed to create a paper trail. Because not only does that document what's happening in your classroom, but when this kind of stuff happens and an investigation is supposed to take place, if you're not reporting it, teacher, how far is that investigation actually gonna go? What you gonna do? Oh, it only happened on the bus? Bullshit. If it happened on the bus, it happened in the cafeteria. If it happened in the cafeteria, it happened in the gym room. If it happened in gym, it happened while y'all was changing classes. If it happened while y'all was changing classes, it happened out on the playground during recess. If it happened then, it happened in the bathroom. Stop playing with me. It's happening wherever they think they can do it. It's happening wherever they think they can get away with it. And I dare say it's not just on the bus. It's not. That's bullshit. She was new to the school. Haven't some of us been in that predicament? New to the school, and they gotta haze you to break you in. See what you're working with. Born in New York, I am. I dare say that, like every state, North and South, East and West, we have our own look. We have our own way of talking, depending upstate or downstate. If you're from New York City, we all know that they have a different way of speaking. But we have a different way of dressing than the people in the South, They have their style, we have ours. And so when we first moved down south, I was 10 years old. So I go straight to elementary school, grammar school, whichever y'all call it. And everything was fine. Sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, everything was fine. Now, I'm not a new kid anymore. I've been here 3 school years. What do you mean? But we get to high school. We get to high school, and in high school, you're not dressing like a little girl anymore. In high school, you kind of start getting into your own swag. Pamela said I removed him till things were resolved. I know that's right. Ebony said Lisa tried to get names and make contact with the main district or something. Don't stop making calls. We have strict laws when it comes to bullying in Florida. Yeah, go to City Hall and go to the Board of Education. Still had no reason to bully her. Absolutely no reason at all. Okay, Smiley talking to Ebony. Okay. Okay. So I started high school. And this is where I get to, really express my personality. It's a little more appropriate now. And at the time, I was loving me some Prince. Loving him. So my favorite color was purple. My favorite color was purple, man. So I had a lot of different variety of purple t-shirts and things like that. And we had the double belts and the name belts and the strap the ribbon that we wore around across our forehead. Y'all know that look. Y'all remember that. And so that's how I'm giving it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming true New York style. Yes, I am. I'm coming true New York style. As much as I was allowed to. And these girls at that school, there was a mean girl crew. And the mean girl crew, this was in Auburn. The mean girl crew, they were all pretty girls, all of them, different shades, different weights and heights, and they weren't even all in the same grade. Okay, Sean, you're showing your age with the double belts. That was my thing. Stop playing with me, Smiley. Stop playing that. Stop playing. I ain't scared. I'm not. I'm showing it, baby. Loud and clear. I'm showing it. Yes, I am. Yes, yes. Um, yes. And so these girls, they did not like me. Why? I don't know. These girls were pretty. Many of them came from well to do households. Some of them even had boyfriends, like the upperclassmen that were in this mean girl crew. They had boyfriends that they had been with for years. But they did not like Sean B for shit. They didn't. They did not like me. And one day the school was giving a sock hop. You into that, Smiley? You know what a sock hop is? Come to school, take off your sneakers, you and your socks. But it's a dance. And I'm just, I'm chilling with the girls who are just there to have fun. They're acting their age. They ain't trying to be fast. They ain't all hugged up in the corner doing some old shit they ain't got no business doing anyway. We're just sitting in our chairs, listening to the music. That's right, Pam. Cut from a different cloth. I was. And then one of the girls came over to me and she said, "Hey, Sean." And I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. And so when she spoke to me, I was like, "Oh my God. Are they about to let me in the crew?" You know what I'm saying? She said, "We in the bathroom. You want to come with us?" And I was like, "Sure." So I followed her in the bathroom. And the next thing I know, this girl named Lisa, her name was Lisa Worthy. Yes, I'm throwing her name out there. So if she's on YouTube, so what? You know I ain't lying. Soon as I walked in the bathroom, she punched me dead in my nose. Boom! Sure did. Punched me dead in my nose and was like, "Leave my man alone." I'm sorry, what? Okay. But it was like 6 of them hoes in the bathroom. I'm by myself. So, checked my face, made sure my nose wasn't bleeding or anything. I left out the bathroom. No, I did not try to fight. No, I did not. I, by myself, was not about to go against these girls who clearly knew what the setup was. You're not pulling my hair out. I've always had long hair. You're not pulling my hair out. You're not scratching my face. You ain't making me ugly because you're jealous of how I look or what I got going on. I'm smart. I pick my battles. I just looked at her and I walked out the bathroom. 2 days later, her mother died. Come to find out, her father and my uncle were friends. They'd hang out, drink their beer, all that. Now, it must have happened at her house because her father never came to our house. But what happened was when her mother died, my uncle grabbed me because he knew I went to school with this chick, and we went over there. And when I walked in, she looked at me like a ghost had just walked through the door. I'm just standing there because when I see her, I'm like, "What is this?" Now, my uncle was not aware of what happened. He did not know. I did not tell anyone what had happened at the sock hop. When I walked out that bathroom, I went and grabbed my sneakers, told chaperone, "Please call my aunt. I'm ready to go home." "Is everything okay?" "No, everything's not okay, but I'm ready to go home." So she came and picked me up, and I never spoke of it. So when I walk in the door and we lock eyes, she told me to come here. So I walk over to her. Because see, now I got my uncle with me, and it's just you. You ain't got your other 5 or 6 chicks with you. It's just you. We'll tear this goddamn house up one-on-one. Let's get it. So when she said, "Come here," I walked over to her. Stay arm distance. "What's up?" She said, "I'm sorry." I said, "I believe it when you say it in front of the people that you humiliated me in front of. But I'm sorry for your loss. Everybody needs their mother." Because, see, y'all got to remember, I lost my mom when I was a little girl. So I know what she about to go through. She starts crying. I just looked at her. I did not embrace her. No, I did not. Was I wrong? I don't know. But I didn't. I went and sat on the couch and waited for my father to finish giving his condolences. My uncle to finish giving his condolences to his friend, and we left. He asked me later on, "You don't know Lisa?" I said, "Yes, I do." He never asked, what was good. He knew she was older than me, so he didn't pry. He left it at that. So that was one bullying incident that I lived through. Another one. Now, that's the instance where the parents may not know. because I never said anything. They never said anything. It never went outside that bathroom. But lucky for me, it didn't go further. Now here's another instance. Grown ass woman. See, because this bullying don't only happen with kids. We got some real hateful, jealous, envious, resentful bitches. Grown as hell. With children. And some that didn't have any kids. True story. I think it was the summer of 94. Me and a few girls who dated some guys that all hung in the same crew. So we, a lot of times, did a lot of our stuff together. You know what I mean? We, our kids, participating in each other's birthday parties, and, we'd hang out at the clubs together. But me, not so much. I just didn't. Not so much. But them, they did. They actually lived closer to one another. And so this one particular day, at this one particular week, there was some he say, she say going on over the phone. He say, she say. And one of the girls called me and told me that another one of the girls was talking about me. Laughing at me, teasing me, because the guy I was dating wasn't one of the big money makers in the crew. See, I wasn't judging him for that. I was kicking it with him because he was actually a good guy. He was a cool dude. I wasn't looking to marry his ass. We just kicking it. See, these other chicks, they lived with their men. I didn't live with this dude. So whatever, whoever, and he got in his pockets, that really wasn't my business. And so one of the messy chicks called me to tell me that he said, she said. And so-and-so said, they was laughing at you about the whoop, the woo, and the what, the what. I don't remember the exact words that were spoken. I got mad. I did. I got mad. And the two chicks that was laughing about it, I said some derogatory terms about the chicks. I did. And it got back. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all what I said. I'm going to tell y'all what I said. I said, this owl-looking bitch, I know damn well she... Now, the chick that I said looked like an owl, she put you in the mind of T-Boz. Literally, T-Boz from TLC. She was short. She was built just like T-Boz. And in fact, she dressed like T-Boz. Oh, she was a fly chick. That's the chick that never had any kids. Oh, she was fly. She was. And the hair doing all that. But she always had this really darkness around her eyes. And I didn't say nothing that I hadn't heard other people say about her. You know what I'm saying? And yes, y'all, it was mean, but fuck that. Not at the moment. I'm giving it the way I got it. You understand me? So anyway, the other chick who could sing her ass off. Oh, man, look at that. She could sing her ass off. But I'd just be damned if she didn't need a pan of cornbread and a nap. I swear to God. Yo, this chick needed a pan of cornbread and a long, long nap so it'll settle somewhere. Because this chick was real thin. She was real thin. Like she was literally, she was built like a little skinny little boy. And so that's what I said. I said both these chicks is jealous because I, said some old dumb shit. Well, that person on the phone, unbeknownst to me, had called me on the three-way. So they heard what I said about them. Okay, it is what it is. I said what I said. Ebony, don't be covering your face. Ebony said, oh, Lord. I'm speaking facts. And so, she was like, okay, girl, well, I'm going to call you back. I got to run to the store because she said her son's name and said that it was his birthday the next day and she had to go run and get some birthday supplies. I said, all right, well, we hung up and I wasn't the wiser of what was going on yet. And so the next day, or maybe a few days later, I'm not particularly sure, but soon after that, okay, wait, Smiley. Sean, I'm loving your live, but I'm at my daycare and it's circle time. I'm going to catch the rest on replay. Everyone have a great day. I'm loving the peace here. Thank you, Smiley. Come back, boo. Come back. We'd love to have you. Linda said, this why I have no female friends. Women is genuinely are messy, miserable for the most part. I'm so glad that my mother had a total of 7 children, so I really didn't need friends. I know that's right. I know that's right. So, shortly after that phone call, a few days later, I get a call, asking me, do I want to bring the kids to the birthday party? And I'm like, sure, no problem. I done totally forgot about that phone call. And, full disclosure though, I'm even probably assuming that this chick that called me had my back. She was calling me to tell me what was going on behind my back because she didn't think it was right. It shouldn't have happened. This is what I'm genuinely thinking about her. So when she called to ask me if I wanted to come and bring the kids to her kids' birthday party, I'm like, sure. She said, but the kids still in school, but can you come over and help me decorate? Y'all know where I'm going with this. I said, sure. She was like, I'm going to come and get you when I'm on my way to the store. I'm like, all right, fine. Even though I could have walked around the corner, I didn't. She said, I'm going to come get you. I'm like, all right, cool. It's the reason why she said, I'm going to come get you. Follow me. She comes and gets me, and one of the girls from this crew was in the car as well. It's no problem. I didn't, Like I said, I was oblivious. I was oblivious to what was happening. And so next thing I know, we're going towards another one of the girls' jobs. And when we get there, I see another one of the girls' man's car parked there. So that means she's driving it. And so the girl whose job we was at, she comes out, she gets in that other car. You understand me, Pamela? Okay, so I'm peeping the scene, but I'm like, damn, we all going to the store? You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally so naive to this. Which is why I started to learn how to pay attention to everything. But I'm peeping it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we all going to the store. Okay, fine. Well, we didn't go to the store. We went back to the girl's house who asked me if I wanted to come help set up. We all go up. Well, the other car, they went around the corner because that chick literally lived down one of those side streets. So me and these two chicks, we go back to her house, and I'm sitting upstairs in the living room, and I'm just minding my business. I ain't walking all over this chick's house. But her and the other girl, they're in the kitchen back that way where I can't really hear or see them. Her kids come up front, they speak to me, I smile at them, I tell the birthday boy, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. Next thing I know, I hear other voices coming in the house. And those voices were those other two girls that I told you went back to the other house. And I heard her say, girl, I had to go change my clothes. She worked at the hospital, so she said, I had to go change my clothes. So she took off her scrubs and shit, I suppose. But I say I suppose because I haven't seen her yet. I just heard her. So I get up and I'm like, oh, okay, the whole gang's here. So I get up and I go in the kitchen. And next thing I know, girlfriend grabs something out the drawer and head out the door. I only caught the gist of her in motion. Yes, Pamela, I felt their energy. Yes, I did. But I am willing to admit I was so naive, I didn't know that that's what I was feeling. I'm still giving benefit of the doubt with my simple ass. You understand me? But like I said, I see her grab something and then head down the stairs, out the door, down the stairs. So they all look at each other and then they look at me, and I'm in my infinite wisdom today, I believe they looked at me to see if I peeped that. But that day, I'm like, y'all cool? Like, are we good? The bone carrier is the one who is the ringleader of starting the BS. Absolutely, Linda. So they like, yeah, let's go outside. I'm like, all right. At this point, I'm like, why are we going outside? But let's go outside. It is what it is, right? I'd rather be outside than this house, whatever is about to happen. At this point, Linda, I am, Pamela, truly peeping it. At this point, my spidey senses is starting to tingle. So I'm like, shit, it is what it is. Head down the stairs, but I walk behind them. You ain't pushing me down these damn stairs. So I walk behind them. We get outside. Chickie, that I told you I had caught the end of her, is standing out there. Y'all know what that stance was. So I'm like, I'm looking at all them. I'm like, what the? And it's all these people outside. I'm like, what in the entire world has happened since I was upstairs? I'm like, I'm looking, I'm like, what's going on? And so the girl comes, and the one who called me walked up to her and took what she had in her hand from her. I later found out it was a little kitchen steak knife. And I'm not saying that to, that was some real shit. It was, because that could have been the end of me. But anyway, she took it. She said something to her, but I saw her take it out of her hand. And the chick with the blade is looking at me while the other chick is taking it out of her hand. So now I know, oh, this is for me. Oh, okay, well, it is what it is. So I'm now in my stance. What's good? And the chick come walking up towards me, so shit, I square up with her. Listen. I'm the only girl in my generation of boys. My aunt had 5 boys. My other aunt had 1 boy. My uncle had 1 boy. That's on my father's side of the family. That's who I grew up with. Let's get it. But see, they didn't see this side of me. They only knew homemaker Sean, who goes to her job at the grocery store every day and then is at home making popsicles for her kids. Her 2 children, who are clean and proper, and they only play in front of their house or in the backyard, and the door is locked at a certain time, and they only knew that. But man, when that chick squared up like she wanted to get busy, I'm like, bitch, let's dance. What is it? And I squared up with her, and she was kind of surprised because I'm whooping that ass. And I promise you that my daughter could jump in this chat right now. Because, see, the way karma is, my daughter and the chick who called me with the shit whose house we're at, her daughter, they wound up reconnecting later on and becoming friends. So this conversation, this incident was rehashed many years later because the chick whose house I was at wound up living right across the street from me much later on. So I'm squaring up with this chick. I'm getting it in, yo. I'm literally ragdolling this bitch. Because this is the one that I said needed the pan of cornbread. That's why the bitch grabbed the blade. Because she couldn't do nothing without it. Absolutely. Absolutely, Linda. Absolutely. Next thing, and I hear them, they like, oh shit, oh snap, oh damn. And then I hear the girl's brother come like, yo, the chick, they called her Lan. He like, Lan, what are you doing? Leave that girl alone. She don't bother y'all. Y'all bitches is so blah, blah, blah. And it got my attention. And it distracted me for a minute. And that's all that bitch needed to get her nails and try to dig them in my eyes. That's a fact, y'all. That's a fact. And while she's trying to get her fingernails in my eyes, she is saying to me, you pretty bitch, you make me sick. That's what this chick is saying to me. I put that on my son's next breath while he's sitting in his classroom. I put it on his next breath. That's what the bitch said. You pretty bitch, you make me sick. And in that instance, I one by one pried that bitch's fingers out of my eyes and tried to break them shits. And I'm bending one of them motherfuckers back, and she starts screaming. And then her brother is grabbing her. And the other chick that I said looked like a fucking owl, she's grabbing her. Oh, now y'all want to grab her? Because now she's screaming? But while she was trying to dig my eyes out, it was all good. For no reason, just because you're... Exactly, Wendy. I didn't do nothing to these chicks. You want to fight because I said something? I'm grown as fuck. I can say what the fuck I want to. I can say what I want. You was in New York State of mind. Listen, Pamela. I was in survival at that point. Because she's literally trying to gouge my eyes out. And that was very scary to me. And yes, I went into flight mode, a different kind of mode that I dare say I've never been in since. And I bent that bitch back and I tried to break it. And that's when they started grabbing her, telling her, okay, it's enough, it's enough. And one of my friends was standing there too. I later saw. Did she do anything? No. And I asked her later on, why didn't you do anything? She said, because you didn't need no help. You was waxing that ass, and that's why she was doing what she was doing. And before I could get there, her brother was already trying to break it up. Oh, okay. I dare say I was never friends with her anymore. I'd speak if I saw her, which wasn't very often, but we weren't friends anymore. Because I don't care. I don't care. See, in the way I was raised, Pam, Ed, Wendy, Linda, we together? One of y'all get in a fight, guess what? We are fighting. That's just what it is. That's how I was raised. Period. We either all gonna walk away or we All about to tax that ass. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. It ain't nothing fair in fighting. Adrian, yes, you too. We all, man, listen, let's get it. All of us. I wouldn't give it if it was just one chick. She about to get it. Because when you see all these chicks, why are you arguing with one of us? Are you silly? You look good, just turn around, going on about your business. In real time, Pam, absolutely. So, because you want to argue with one of the girls in the crew, you must be with it. So I go on home. I go to, my face is burning, and I don't know why. Because this has never happened to me before. I know you were going to, I was doing that. I was literally doing that. I found out, later on when people, when my friend, the male friend came to talk to me about it, and the chicks was talking about it with them, he was like, yo, I heard you, but you do, and, chick just went to the left and started But I go home and my face is burning and I don't know why. So I go in the bathroom and it looked like someone had taken, I don't know, something. And like how you take the staples off a paper, the thing that you click that takes staples out. It looked like somebody had one of them and was just clamping it on my eyes. Clamping it. Because I had these fingernail marks all around my eyes. Both of them. Because while she had her a staple remover. Yes, Wendy, thank you, baby. While she was steady clawing at my eyes, I'm uppercutting the fuck out of this bitch's stomach. She'll never have another kid. I'm bam, bam, bam. I'm uppercutting the shit out of her, but she still got my face. Okay, fine. I started to cry. My kids were at home with my brothers, so they didn't see that. Because remember, I was only there to help set up. The party hadn't even started yet. But when I walked in, and my daughter looked me in my face, she said, Mommy, your eyes. That's when I ran to the bathroom. Did what I did with my face, put some water on it to soften the skin, and then I put Vaseline on it, and, I ain't go outside for like a week. And then it all went away. But the lesson didn't. And then, like I said, many years later, the chick who set it all up lives across the street from me. We find out our daughters are friends. She asked my daughter to ask me to come over. So I walk across the street. Yo, Sean B ain't never backing down. I'm never backing down. I go across the street. We sit down. We talking. She apologizes. She called one of the other girls, the one that I said looked like an owl. That chick comes over. She apologizes. But the chick land that needed the pan of cornbread, she was never contacted. Won't God make your enemies yes, our yes, footage, yes. Yes, God is yes. Absolutely amazing. They literally had the most pathetic look on their face. Because what wound up happening later on in life is the one that looked like an owl, her dude was kidnapped, put in the trunk with his thing in his mouth. Y'all understand what I'm saying? See, karma is a ugly, on-time bitch. Now, whose time? We don't know. Karma time. Karma's time. And a lot of people think that your karma will be yours to suffer. It will, but not directly. Not all the time. Her karma was the love of her life being set the fuck up and totally degraded. Okay? Ebony said, show Liz. Okay? The other chick, the one who needed the pan of cornbread, her and her dude broke up, and she still looked like she needed pan of cornbread. Touch not my anointed. Absolutely, Pamela. It always works like that. I've seen people reap what they have sown. Exactly. These seeds of discord come back triple fold. Absolutely, Wendy. And so, needless to say, I didn't have too much to say to either one of them. You know, I accepted their apology and took my ass back across the street. Life continued to go on. And every now and then, I would run into the one that looks like an owl. She wound up working for the emergency medical, for an ambulance company. And during certain concerts, they would have an ambulance service there. And one time we're walking in the lobby and we're on our way to the door to give our tickets, and boom, she's standing right there. And I looked at her. And she looked at me like she had seen a ghost. And I'm over it. I looked at her. Because, see, I'm good. So I looked at her. I said, how you doing? A smile formed across her face. She said, I'm good, Sean. How are you? I said, I'm fabulous. You all right? She said, yeah. And she went to talking about the show. The other girl, I saw her years later. There was a hardware store at the corner of my street, and my baby, I put him in a stroller just if it was a beautiful day. So I'm like, drive to another hardware store. Why? Let's just take a walk to the corner. And as we're walking out, it was literally on the corner. So as we're walking out, turn, go back down my street. But before I could turn, I'm walking out the door, and it's kind of difficult because the door was at an angle, and the way it opened up, I couldn't just open it and push the stroller out. But I'm maneuvering it, and I see a set of feet that's walking towards, because I'm looking down. And so I get the stroller out the door, and I look up, and it's her. The one who tried to take my eyes out. It's her. She looked at me. And I just stood there and looked at her. She said, Sean, I am so sorry. I was so wrong. I was so stupid. This and this and that. I said, yeah, you good. I kept on walking. I insisted on never giving her the time of day. I insisted on it. So that's a story about adults being bullies. And it's pathetic. It's sad. And sometimes it's done to people that can't handle it. Sometimes it's done to people that they're never quite all right after that. Some don't even make it home. And some go home just to leave us, if you understand what I'm saying. It's the ugliest, one of the ugliest existence on earth is bullying. Why are you doing that? Whatever shortcomings you got going on in your life, fix it. And if you're not paying enough attention to your kids, fix it. If your babies ain't walking around dancing and singing and playing a little bit too much, fix it. If your baby's grades all of a sudden start to drop, fix it. Your baby don't want to, you've always known for your baby to want to go outside and play, and he don't want to go outside and ride his bike. Brand new bike. He don't want to go outside and ride it. Fix it. Old school gone, y'all. Old school is gone. God doesn't play about his children. That's right, Linda. Yes, ma'am, Pam. Every time you saw Owl, I'm imagining big eyes. Her eyes weren't big. It was just the blackness around her eyes. Yeah. It happens in some of these chats. Cyberbullying is a damn crime. Yeah. A lot of these kids and adults get cyberbullied. Absolutely. It just proves how ridiculous and small people are. First of all, for you to sit behind a keyboard and talk shit, you got to be the loneliest, most pathetic person on that site. You really do. You're behind a keyboard. How serious can it really get? Right. So get all emotional about it where it's going to go where? So why are you bullying? Right? And then with our babies in school, old school gone, y'all. Old school is gone. We have got to start paying that kind of attention that we just used to take for granted. We did. I dare say, number one, because schools used to be on top of their business. Linda said, this is why you have to give your kids the old school wisdom. Every day when I pick my kids, the first question is, how's your day? And how are you feeling mentally? Absolutely. I can look at my son when he come in the door. And tell what kind of day he had. Or if I need to ask what's wrong, I can tell that. I'll put it that way. About a week and a half ago, he came in the house, and I could see him getting off the bus, and we're right here on the corner. So he gets off the bus. I could see both windows. I could see him get off, and then out the other window, I could see him walking up the sidewalk to the walkway. And he's fine. I could tell by the bounce in his step. He's cool. But when he gets in the house, I said, hey, Doobie. Hey, Mom. I said, you cool? And he looked around to me on the couch. And I said, what's wrong? What happened? He said, nothing happened. My strap on my book bag broke. I said, that's what that look is for. He said, yeah. I said, all right. But I could tell that something was eating at him. Something as minuscule as that. Something as minute as that. But I could tell. But that's only for us parents that pay attention to our babies. Wendy said exactly, Sean. Some people forget about being genuine human beings. Absolutely. Like, why? And for the parents that is not in your children's lives, I don't want to hear when you get the report card, you putting belt to ass. No, no. Were you putting eyes on their souls first? Because if you weren't doing that, you better keep your hands to yourself or get to kicking yourself in the ass. Because if you're not doing your job, a kid is going to do their job and be a kid. That's a fact. I am so into my boy's life, the good, bad, and ugly. I have 5 grown kids. God gave me a second chance to show me and gave me my 13 and 9-year-old. And I understand. Period. Because if you're not part of the resolution, you're going to be part of the problem. And I dare say your kids out there bullying people, you're part of that problem. Especially when it gets to our beloved Jada West. Especially when it gets to her. When it gets to those babies. What's wrong with your children? What's wrong with y'all? Them kids, what was that? Chicago? Where them kids jumped on that mother and her son while her daughter watched? Man, listen. That couldn't have happened in front of my house. Much less if my children were involved. That couldn't have happened in front of my house. Dead ass. I'm so serious. I'm coming outside with my belt. You can send the police if you want to. That's a form of self-defense. You have a right to defend someone that is being attacked. Whoever needed to hear that, I hope you caught it. You have a right. And that's what I would have done if it had happened in front of my house. Absolutely. So it's collectively all of our responsibilities to pay attention to our kids. Because as long as you're paying attention, you'll be able to tell if your kid is being bullied or doing the bullying. I don't know if I said it during the live or if I said it during the conversation. About a month ago, Doobie was bullying a kid in gym. Total transparency, y'all. They playing volleyball. The kid got, the ball was coming. The kid got kind of, he didn't want to jump up and hit the ball, and they wound up losing that round. Doobie walks up to the kid, and he rah, 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 what's wrong with you? All in his face and crap. The teacher says to Doobie, well, you can't do that. Doobie says, well, am I wrong? Y'all, my kid get on my damn nerves sometimes. So he gets sent to the office, and the office knows, call me. I'm at home. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Call me about mine, whatever it is. I'm hands on, eyes on, ears on. So he called me and he tell me about it. So I asked to speak to Doobie, and I give him a tongue lashing, not disrespectful. I will never disrespect or humiliate my child in public, ever. Won't do that. But I told him how I felt about what he did and that I would finish talking to him when he got home. When he came home, I sat my son down and I gave him the first story that I told y'all. And some other personal stuff in the family. And by the time I was done, I asked him, how do you feel? He said, Mommy, I'll never do that again. Ever. I said, tomorrow what you'll do is you'll go to school, and in gym class, you will ask that gym teacher, can you apologize to your classmate? And I'm calling the school to make sure you did it. And I did. And he did. That's what being a parent looks like. That's what accountability looks like. That's what it looks like. You did it. You're going to stand in it. You're going to fix it. Period. Humiliation is not cool, y'all. That's how bullies are born. That's how they're created. The bullies they're not just born that way. What's going on with your child at home, man? Why? Why does a kid think it's okay to treat someone that way? And what about respect are you not teaching your child, like what happened in Chicago, for them kids to attack that mother that way? Man, when I was coming up, it didn't matter what you looked like, how old you was, if you were older than me, as far as like the older teenagers and up, you were either not talked to at all out of respect, or you were literally shown respect. But disrespect was unheard of. Shit ain't cool. It's just not cool. We have a 12-year-old that a mother pleaded in front of a camera about what happened to the love. God wants us to love. Y'all got to teach y'all's kids how to love. That's what she said, y'all. Them ain't my words. They see it at home. The apologies those kids gave on Chicago was absolutely disgusting. The one girl was holding back grinning. Absolutely. Who said that? Wendy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then a stupid ass mama want to come talking about all this stuff she got. I'm the captain of the cheerleading team, and then that ain't got nothing to do with what you did, you little witch. You the one who threw the first goddamn punch. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. And y'all, it don't only happen in the projects. It don't only happen in the hood. It happens in suburbs too. It don't only happen at the grocery stores, the corner stores. It happened in the grocery stores too. So this is no dig at the ghetto. And this ain't just, Trina, no pun, but this ain't just some nigga shit. All races do it. All of them. It's a fact. And we got to stop it. We got babies dying, y'all. What about the little girl? I forget how old she is, with her beautiful chocolate self that was lured to the woods with them 3 kids who did, I think she was 5, and they did unspeakable things to this baby. Stuck twigs and shit up in her. Pulled her hair out from her scalp. What? Where do you see this kind of stuff? And come to find out, y'all, it was another little girl who was the ringleader. Like, what's wrong with y'all? What's going on in these households that's got these kids imagining these kind of things? What must y'all be talking about? What are you allowing your kids to watch on television? What are you allowing them access to or exposed to on social media. That's crazy. They took not only this child's innocence, they not only took her innocence, they took her childhood. I dare say she'll never be the same. Ever. Trusting? I think not. They stripped so much from that child that only God could replace. Only God could replace it. On top of the fact that she was already challenged. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. The beautiful ones. You know, Prince had a song. Prince had an eye on the world, him and Michael. They had an eye on the world that today is amazing. And a lot of people think that it's literal, but sometimes it's metaphoric. You just gotta pay attention. Put in it where it belongs. If y'all see stuff happening, you know, you can't say nothing to these kids no more. You better. This is why I try to stay prayed up. The things we're seeing, and now it's even more with social media. We guard our hearts, mind, and energy. Listen, see, we can fix it on social media. All you got to do is click off. All you got to do is click off. When them views stop happening, that ugliness will cease to exist. Will it happen overnight? No, it's not, because it didn't start overnight. But we got to start somewhere. We got to stop. You know, it does not have to be the norm. Nothing good is supposed to be the norm. Oh, girl, that's just what them kids doing these days. I wouldn't give a shit. Should they be doing that these days? No. But it also means that the parents aren't on their job. Because if your kid doing something wrong, damn it, correct it. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how many jobs you work. We have children that are being buried, y'all. The excuses are not justifications. Stop that. They're excuses. I've seen videos on social media of these little teenage girls talking back to their mom like they need their soul snatched out of them by way of their tongue. Just snatch it, give it here. Just take it out. I'm utterly like, I just want to throw my phone down. Good morning, Ray Ray from PA. Thank you for joining us, love. You just want to jump through the screen and while you're pulverizing this teenager, you want to ask, who the hell you think you talking to? I saw a little short my son showed me years ago when Facebook was first becoming a real thing. And it was a recording that this guy was in the store, and he heard the door chimes. He was recording what he was doing, but he heard the door chimes, and this dude Dude, a grown man, was with his mom. How old he was, I don't know. But, he wasn't no old dude. But his mom was with him. And he's just Phil flirting and flaming while he talking to his mother. And his mother, she's an old school lady, classic lady. She like, why are you talking to me like that? And he like, because mom, but. And before he could finish his justification, klablow, dude had done popped him. Dude had done popped him. Right? We can't be our kids' friends. We can't. And even once they get grown, because then they take shit for granted. You know what I mean? They think because they grown, they're entitled. No, I think not. But this dude, he cold cock. Hey, Miss Scott. He cold cocked the shit out of dude. Dude hit the floor. He looked up at dude. He like, yo, dude, what you doing? He said, don't you ever talk to your mother like that. You know how many of us walking this earth wish we could talk to our mother? Not only are you talking to your mother like that, but she's in the store with you. She ain't got to be here. Yo, he blew him out so fast, just one boom, that was it. Sean, you're definitely right. Old school is fading fast. The new generation is something else. Yo, this new generation is trash. Because if they weren't, we wouldn't have the Jada Wests if they weren't trash. This new generation is pure trash. And our babies got to grow up in it. Our babies have to grow up with this trash. And I dare say trash is raising trash. They can dress it up however they want to. They could put as many haircuts, edge ups, lineups, barrettes and bows on it that they want to. They can put as many lace fronts on it as they want to. You need to stop letting your kids dress like they're about to walk down the aisle and get married. It's the prom. Why don't your daughter have any goddamn clothes on? This is high school. What? It's just certain stuff I just don't agree with. And when we give them just an inch, clearly they're taking a mile. And the standards have just, man, the standards are so low. It's become a contest of the inappropriate behavior. It's become a contest. And it's unfortunate. Take back control of your kids, man. Make your daughter understand that she has to wait. It's not her time. If she do it all in her senior year, what she got to look forward to when she's in college? If she goes. And college ain't for everybody, but I mean those years. What she got to look forward to? And I'm sorry, y'all, but the women used to be the standard. The women were the reason why the men acted the way that they did. Because I'm just going to keep it a bean. Men are animalistic. They're on the prowl. They want to conquer what they want. That's animalistic. I don't mean it in a derogatory term. That woman, Brianna, that got arrested, she has all those kids and is setting a terrible example. I don't know that story. I've heard it, but I saw the thumbnails, but that sector right there is so first of all, it's played out. You know what I mean? Like, it's played out. But And our parents, we've got to stop letting these boys think that because they're having sex, they're grown. I know what sector it is, Wendy. And that's just another one that's just pathetic. So it's never gotten a view from me. Never. But yeah, we got to start slowing our kids down, man. We do. Just because they can does not mean that they have to. It doesn't mean that they should. Just because your daughter can wear that gown to the prom, does it mean she should? With her boobs all hanging out, the split showing off the fact she ain't got no drawers on. Like, come on, y'all, really? Hair hanging down to the crack of her ass. That's how grown women dress. Why are you letting your 16, 17-year-old dress that way? A whole lot of kids, and it's about to be that time, a whole lot of kids don't make it home for prom night. Why? Because these irresponsible parents is giving the keys to these kids that don't even have a driver's license. Not that that stops car accidents. And if that's what a person is focusing on, then damn it, you need your head examined. Because clearly it's got to start somewhere. And our children need to be taught responsibility. And so in order to drive a car, you're supposed to what? Get your driver's license. And see, my live today, as I bring it to a close, was an experiment. I deliberately didn't put a thumbnail on there. I deliberately did it. Because I wanted to see the fickle sons of bitches bouncing in and out of my chat. I mean, in and out of my live. See, they come because they're like, ooh, Sean B's live. They come to see what they hear. And then they bounce because it ain't what they want to hear. It's not what they want to hear. I've heard of parents reserving hotel rooms for prom night. Utterly disgusting, Ebony. It's disgusting. You understand me? That is some inappropriate, nasty shit. Why? Why? Why are you renting hotel rooms for your child's prom night? What in the entire hell is wrong with you? Old school need to come back, man. Maybe if old school came back, y'all want to talk about the black community? Maybe if old school came back, all this black on black crime would stop. How about that? And all these mamas want to jump up in front of the camera talking about my child ain't never did nothing to nobody. No damn well Rah and Boo Boo and Ray Ray was up there on the block yesterday being menaces to society. But now motherfuckers got to move dirt around to make room for your little Ray Ray. Now all of a sudden you want to throw some white doves up in the sky. Girl, bye. Or as soon as something happened to these little girls that's being allowed to dress the way that they do, they're wearing skirts with their asses hanging out from the bottom of them. And they, you know what I mean? walking around with enough hair on their head that by the time they 35 years old, they're not going to be able to hold their head up because all of the cartilage and strength and shit in their neck is going to be gone because the horse going to be done wore it out. It's a fact, Wendy. These people may not like what I'm saying, but I'm saying it. It ain't shit they can do about it because I'm telling the truth. Make your children be children. If they still in high school, damn it, they're kids. They're kids. They are minors. If your daughter or son is going to the prom, whether junior or senior, your child is still in high school. Therefore, your child is still a minor. Come on, what's happening at spring break, man? Ray, what's happening at spring break? Everything inappropriate. Stop playing with me. Everything that shouldn't be happening is happening at spring break. Hello, oh boy. Thank you for joining us. But everything that's happening at spring break ain't got no business happening. The girls is walking around with nothing on. Gone are the days where females left something to the imagination. Why in the hell today should they buy the cow when they slinging that milk for free? All you got to do is smile at them. Buy the cow for what? And I dare say, if you're dressed the way that you are, they don't even want to buy the milk. They're going to take it. Oh, and now you're upset. Should they have done that? No, they should not have. But what I'm saying is, y'all get it? Y'all get it? There is substances going on there. There's drinking going on there. So I dare say that the influence is spectacular. So with that influence, there's behaviors going on that are downright illegal, definitely immoral. And what's with these teen takeovers? I'm like, where did these spawns come from? I know that's right. Yes, know your worth, man. Know your worth. Spring break is the Freaknik. Spring break ain't what it used to be. Spring break is now the Freaknik. That's it, that's all. And it's sad that if a chick is dressed appropriately, respectfully, she gets no attention. She gets no attention. Because the standards are so low. I don't care how I dress. That's the style. I dress like the style. Well, the style is trash. How about that? The style is trash. And if that's how you dress, if that's how your child dresses, I'm here to tell you, you ain't got to like it, but your kid, your daughter, she need to put some clothes on. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are appropriations for a reason. There are standards for a reason. At least there used to be. Not anymore. And when you don't act like the crowd, when you don't walk like the crowd, you don't talk like the crowd, you don't dress like the crowd, you end up bullied, ostracized, picked on. And then we end up with a Jada West. My condolences go out to her mother, her father, and everybody who loved her. Anybody who appreciated her existence. Everybody within the sound of my voice, please start being a part of the resolution. Start being a part of how we gotta fix this. Like I tell y'all all the time, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I appreciate y'all for supporting me and my channel. And then I love you after that. Y'all have a good day. Be blessed. Stay safe.